football at its purest, where I have no kids, no justification for why am I there? Because I love football and I'm American. I am so fucking excited, except they're playing the Independence Eagles, which, hear me out, kind of sound like a bunch of little bitches. So I'm excited to fucking scream at children. I'm going to a high school football game, damn it.
You came in hot right there, and I'm so glad you did.
I'm fucking excited. I'm so excited. Oh, by the way, I didn't get to say congrats on the win.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll get into that.
I figured.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Smalls on All Purpose Garbage, TFTB's college football show for idiots, and bringing on the biggest idiot on earth, aside from myself, is my boy Deke. Deke, how's it going, brother?
Good. In my defense, I am suing. I was not aware I was being recorded. I would like to sue whatever company you work for.
Joke's on you, bud.
Yeah. Can you? If I sue myself, who wins?
You.
That's a good point, Touche.
Yeah. I don't know who would win the prosecute. How does
fucking East Nashville high school football,
oh,
baby?
Yeah,
That's who would win.
Yeah, no. And so that's gonna be definitely the opener. But just so people know,
yeah,
the first thing. So I sent him the invite.
Drinking a lot of these, baby.
Of course. I sent him the invite, and the first thing he says when his face popped up on
Zoom,
hot. He came in hot, and he said, "Bro, guess what?" And then proceeded to tell me he's going to a high school football game on Friday.
That
which is
just
incredible.
To reach like peak ability, and I said this, to go to a high school football game not knowing the school, any kids, nothing going on. I'm literally just here for America and football, and that is it.
Oh yeah.
I'm so excited.
There's nothing better. Now, are you guys gonna be drinking for it? Because I might be peak American dad right
Coors
there.
Light, baby.
Yeah.
I'm going to get drunk on Coors Light, baby.
Speaking of Coors Light, shout out
to Coors Light, Coors, PGH. Shout out to Coors Banquet. Shout out to Coors Seltzers. Shout out to the mountains. Mwah. Love you.
Ice cold mountains, blue mountains.
And these sick-ass sunglasses.
Oh,
which also, did you see who won the contest?
No, I did not, actually.
It was Arf. Dre's brother Arf.
Oh, look at that.
We'll get him his gear. We just picked it up. Greg's going to be my little delivery boy. I love him for that. So shout out to Arf, who won the Coors Light giveaway. We're doing way more of those, including one on this show.
Awesome. Fuck yeah. No, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, shout out Coors, though. Big news coming out last week. Very excited to be partnered with Coors. Coors PGH. Deke. Big week in football.
Massive week
in college football. I don't think I gave you a heads up before we started, but I'm just going to start off with PSU talk.
I kind of assumed this.
Yeah. All right. Pit Vipers are on.
So excited for this.
I didn't prepare anything, but it's fine.
Preparations for idiots.
Yeah, it's fine. Let me just say this.
Say it.
The whiteout was real, and I think Penn State's for real because we beat the we actually didn't beat the shit out of Auburn, but we were very, 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 very fucking good in a very tight game against a very good team, in my opinion. I think Auburn was a very formidable opponent. I had goosebumps the entire night. I hope y'all saw my fucking couch cam because that was just a small fraction of the insanity that was my living room that night. That makes me so happy, even though I know that we're just still going to lose to Ohio State. I don't care. Those nights are what I live for, even if it was a tight game, even if I was tense the entire time. Penn State football is back. I'm so excited. That wasn't as electric as I wanted it to be, but it was just honest. Like, that's just...
Some people in the comment sections are curious if I have more passion about the East Nashville high school football team than you for Penn State.
Probably,
so it's not me. I know some people are gonna comment it, so I might as well address it.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I'm good with it though. I mean, it felt good. Like, and I
100%.
I can't. I don't even really want to gloat because like it was, like it was just even for the casual fan, even if you weren't invested, that was a great fucking game.
It was a close game. I mean, you really look at it 28-20. Like, I said this out loud. There was a moment, and I said it to you Monday, and I'm saying it again so the people know I'm consistent on this take. There was a moment where Auburn made a pass that no one was around him, and I said, Auburn's going to crush them. And I am so glad it didn't happen. There was a moment where it looks like Auburn was a different type of middle of the pack. You know what I mean? And Penn State, I don't mean that they're middle of the pack, but like when it comes to the conference, it's Ohio State always. And Penn State's always there, but they're very just a solid team. Auburn felt that same. Penn State proved something.
Yeah, I think we did. I think we proved that we can beat good teams in close games, and we've done it twice this year. I think that's the important thing. And we've done it on the road and at home. And I mean, the whiteout to me is always just so special and cool. Like,
can I say one thing about it?
No,
No, it's not about the whiteout.
Okay.
Saying, wow, the whiteout is a bucket list event. Fucking shut the fuck up. It's been a bucket list event for like 10 years.
That's true.
I just can't. The whiteout game has been the most significant thing about college football to me because I was never a big fan, but I knew the whiteout game.
Yep.
I didn't really know what conference Notre Dame was in or what state for that matter, but I knew the whiteout game.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, it's always been this big. Stop acting like this is a new thing.
Well, I think part of it is because the SEC was exposed to it. I think that's a big thing because, like
fair.
Unless you are a diehard college football fan, which I know a lot of SEC people are, but I feel like a lot of guys they watch SEC games.
Are they college football fans or are they SEC fans?
That's a good question. That's all of us. Even I'm not even talking Penn State fans. The rest of college football fans all kind of knew about it. I think 100%. It was just because it was such a rare game. Because I don't even know if Auburn and Penn State have ever played in a regular season game. I think that was the first time ever.
I've definitely never seen it, yeah.
And it was just really cool that was such a rare game on just in one of the most electric atmospheres in college football. And there are other great ones, which I'm going to talk about one here when we do our recap. But, like, there's just nothing quite like it because it's just electric. Like, you feel like, especially if you're there, if you're ever there. And I know that, people are saying it's a bucket list item now, but like it really is a bucket list item because you're there and you fucking feel it. Like,
I want my statement to not take away anything from the whiteout game. Like, my statement is solely the fact that Casey Smith, Barstool, and Field Yates, ESPN, both were like, wow, this is a bucket. I fucking love. They're two of my favorite sports people across the planet. Stop acting, and maybe they're just doing it for the tweet. That has always been a bucket list event for sports fans, not just college football fans.
I think it was elevated too because it was the first whiteout in 2 years. I think that it was just
there's a lot of elements. I agree.
Yeah, there was more oomph to it. And there was it was against an SEC opponent and a very good SEC
ranked,
opponent,
tough SEC opponent. Like, this at one point was Alabama's #1 rival.
Yeah, and I get that it's first year coach. They probably have a little work to do, but I'll tell you what though, Bo Nix did not look bad.
No,
like now he's always struggled on the road, and I feel like there were a few things that he wasn't.
I hate him.
100% crisp on. I agree. But, like, dude, Tank Bigsby, dog. Really? Like,
dog.
That dude is fucking crazy. And same thing with, who's Hunter, their other running back, who just hurt.
Jaquez.
He made
Jarquez Hunter. He had 9 for 63, man.
Dude, that hurdle over Joey Porter Jr.
Oh.
Like, even
crazy.
I hated it in the moment.
I'll admit, I saw a video pan to Joey Porter. They're like, Joey Porter's here. And in my brain, I went, Joey Porter went to fucking Penn State. I didn't even. Yep. Okay. That makes makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of the schools, not the kids, because they don't get paid yet. NIL. So I know them as Penn State. Just to.
Yep. But,
fucking Joey Porter. That's all I got.
Exactly. So I mean, I obviously we already talked about it. The whiteout game was awesome. Again,
Yeah.
I don't really. I think what killed Auburn was that turnover on the first drive in the second half.
Yeah.
That
Momentum
we scored
killer.
on. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like Clifford, this was another thing. Clifford, that was the best I've ever seen Sean Clifford play.
Really? I mean, 28 for 32, 282.
28 for 32 for Sean Clifford.
Okay. I even have more respect for Sean Clifford than that. But you're not wrong. I mean, 2 touchdowns is not the most impressive stature, but 28 for 32 against a tough team and a tough defense. And what I would say is, obviously 48's not the craziest, but it felt low scoring. Like it still felt tight.
It was tight the whole time. Yeah, we were up 11
yes.
at one point. I did not feel safe.
No, agreed. And I think that Sean Clifford proved he might not be the guy that's able to take you there, but he's not going to be the guy that loses it. He's not going to be the guy that causes you to lose.
I think it was also the coming out party for Mike Yurcich because Mike Yurcich had that offense looking pretty good. Like, overall, they looked good.
Yeah.
It was really the first week where I was like, damn, these guys are actually kind of legit, and Sean Clifford isn't as bad, or at least isn't as much of a head case as I thought he was.
Agreed. But that was your big thing, too, is that, it's coming after a regime of Trace McSorley where Trace was a terrific college quarterback, like a very solid, very sound household name. Mm-hmm. He goes to the pros and he's still hanging around, man. Mm-hmm. And I don't think Sean Clifford has this thing to live up to, but there's a level of Trace McSorley would at least try to win you the game. Mm-hmm. Sean doesn't have to do that necessarily, but Sean does have a lot in Penn State history to live up to.
Yeah, that, and I mean, John Dotson, can't talk that guy up enough to that.
Yeah.
That guy, I mean, everyone at Penn State knew it, I think, about 2 years ago. If you're a Penn State fan, you've known about Dotson for a while. Yep. Even last year on a bad team, he was the only good thing about Penn State. But I think Saturday night, he kind of showed, on a national spotlight, he was the real deal. He is still the real deal. He'll go down.
He'll remember that game forever.
100%, yeah. Yeah, again, it was special. It was because it was a rare game that two opponents that don't play against each other often in a whiteout in a non-conference game in the first whiteout in a long time where Penn State actually looked like not necessarily, I don't want to say in control, but they didn't look lost at any point. Yeah, they didn't look lost at any point.
A comfortable Penn State is dangerous for one of 2 reasons. One, they're so comfortable they kill themselves. Mm-hmm. Or 2, they're comfortable amongst the big dogs. And you know what? I think this Penn State believes, and Smalls, you know where my head's at with this statement. Mm-hmm. I believe Penn State believes in a 10-game series they would beat Ohio State 10 times.
Right now, yes.
Yes.
At this very moment, absolutely. They think they can. And that's what
kind
of matters.
Yep.
So
that's a scary level of confidence.
It is. Ooh, man, I had goosebumps. I still have goosebumps. Just because it was just a big win. I think it just showed that we're legit. Second headline I have here, Cincy has to be a little better.
100% agreed. Now, we are not very far removed from Indiana being on this show. I think I spoke to them a little bit last week about being a legitimate, sound franchise. But Cincy should have walked in and out of this game way more dominant than 38-24.
If they have any playoff hopes, absolutely. That's
and that's what it all is, right? Mm-hmm. That's literally everything in college football is some kind of hope for the playoffs.
Yeah, and I feel like they didn't. It was obviously you can say what you want about them going into a Big Ten stadium against a team that's not awful and beating them. That
they're sound
speaks volumes. I think. But really, in order for them to make the playoff at this point, because Indiana is not nearly as good as what everyone thought they were, and everyone was like, hey, if Cincy beats Indiana on the road and Notre Dame on the road, then they have a legitimate shot. I think this game kind of forces them to have to really beat up on Notre Dame, I think.
100% agreed, man. And it kind of gets to that point of, for a team like Cincinnati, for a team that's not really. I mean, Cincinnati has traditionally had a very sound defense, first in the nation. I believe it was last year, 2 years ago, something of that nature. They are a sound program, but they are not what you would consider a traditional powerhouse.
Nope.
For a guy like Ritter to come in here against Indiana, who's already been torched, 20 for 36 and 210, one TD, one interception, it doesn't do it for me, Smalls. I'm going to be completely honest for you. A professional NFL quarterback should torch this team. It kind of big red flag for me, going to be honest.
Yep, and the defense I do think was maybe not as advertised, but they came up big. But obviously the big turning point was that kickoff return. If they didn't have that, I don't know. Like, we'll see. But, I mean, obviously, what did I say last week, though? Like, Tom Allen had those boys ready to play, and that was the loudest I've ever heard an Indiana crowd ever. It was awesome. Yeah. Like, it was fun to watch, but
I like Indiana as a program. They're one of those, they're not very dangerous to me. Like, there's certain programs where I don't really pledge allegiance around you, but Indiana doesn't feel dangerous on any level. Since he's got to do better here.
Yep. Also, it also hurts at Penix Jr., which he was supposed to be a Heisman, like, not a favorite, but a Heisman contender this year. So far, he's thrown 4 touchdowns and 6 interceptions through 3 games.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking bad.
2 for 3 in that one. 17 for 40 walking out of Cincinnati. Granted, we like Cincinnati's defense, but 17 for 40, I'm just going to let you know, not good.
He might just not be good.
I fear that. I fear that about a lot of the guys we talked about.
Yeah, it might just not be good. But yeah, Cincy, I think, has to kind of make a statement against Notre Dame. Which we'll get to Notre Dame, here in a little bit too. But like I said last week, Miami, fucking not back at all.
I almost just died in my chair. The quickest turnaround in college football history is what? I don't know what I did, but my chair apparently goes the whole way back. Hold on before I fucking. All right, there we go. You don't understand. This chair, I didn't screw in all the screws. I took a couple corner chips.
Yeah.
I cannot believe how quickly we turned the corner at Miami, but hear us out. We're guys. We accept new data. We're not going to stick by some weird stance. We understand and we react to the situation. I'm going to say it out loud right now, Smalls. De'Aaron King sucks at football.
I think it's his knee. He just can't fucking do anything.
Yeah, and I mean, 388 yards is a lot of yards, but that knee looks rough.
The thing is, I think they have to kind of design the playbook around his knee. That hampers them a fuck ton. You saw it against Alabama, saw it against App State, and you definitely saw it against Michigan State.
100%. App State was the one that shocked me, to be honest with you, but this Michigan State loss, daunting.
And I'm not dicking on Michigan State either, because they look now. I'm not going to say that they look really good.
Choose your words wisely.
Yeah, they look way better than what myself and everyone else thought that they were going to be. Like, I thought they needed at least one more year before we were even talking about Michigan State. Now they're ranked.
I think that's fair. I mean, the last time Michigan State actually had a place in my heart was Connor Cook.
Yeah.
And the reason was that he had a friend on the golf team at Point Park. I knew his friend. I was like, this guy, I hope he does well. Michigan State, I mean, Peyton Thorne does come in with 4 touchdowns in total. They had 172 yards on the ground with 27 rushes from Kenny Walker.
Yep.
It's a thing where Miami, again, we get to this conversation about respectable teams. Miami's a respectable team that always has a sound defense.
Yeah.
$172 from one guy. If you're running 27 times and you average 6.4 yards in that game, that's crazy.
Yep. They're dumpster. Miami's a dumpster fire already.
Ooh, they even certified dumpster fire?
Abso-fucking-lutely. They haven't even entered ACC play yet.
Can I say one thing?
Go ahead.
If they would have kept Tate Martell, I just want to say, if they would have kept Tate Martell, their season would be different.
Yeah, that's it.
Maybe. I will let you define what that means, but it would have been different.
Maybe I think they would have a better shot playing Tate Martell's dad on the field than Tate Martell.
Jacked. That dude beats his kid. There's no way around that conversation. That dude is way too jacked, way too roided up.
Yeah, no, look at that soul patch. He absolutely beats his kids. That just
To
screams.
say soul patch when I take a sip of beer feels like a weird thing. Good thing it's a Coors and it went down smooth.
There we go. Wow, what a plug.
I fucking love this beer.
Bama squeaks by in a thriller. I was debating on what to put for this one because they definitely squeaked by. But I think Florida was way, way more legit than anyone gave them credit for. And I get why. They literally got all of their yards on the ground up to this point. But I tell you what, a few takeaways I had was Emory Jones does not suck.
I think that's fair.
Because, dude, they were running the option. Do you know how long it takes to master the option against a
Malcolm
defense?
Perry did it. No,
Again,
just fucking with them. Fucking with you.
I was gonna say, okay. Especially against a defense like Bama.
Against Bama, yeah.
You know, like they were electric to watch. That second half was awesome. And the second takeaway I really had was Bama does not look bulletproof.
No. I think that's the biggest point here because you look at it. So after the first, it's 21-3. And I was seeing, I kid you not, I was seeing tweets saying like Florida's who we thought they were, blah, 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 like ripping Florida. Mm-hmm. After that first quarter, you look at this game, it is literally 26-10 Florida.
Yep.
Like, I think if they would have started off stronger, Florida would have won this game. And it's one of those things where you're like 21-3, they came back and they did some work out of there, dude. The other thing to add on Florida, you have 4 rushers in the double-digit mark.
Yep.
3 of which are above 50 yards on there. One of which, obviously, is the quarterback with 19 rushes designed. But Florida looked probably the best I've seen them in a long time. On Alabama's side of the ball, I will add this. Bryce Young looks terrific.
Yeah.
As much as I'm going to give Florida credit here, Bryce Young, he looks like what we thought we were getting with the kid.
Yep. No, yeah, you definitely can't. I think this was a bigger story for Florida than it
100%.
really was Bama. Because I don't think
100%.
Bama played poorly. Like,
no.
I really don't think that. I think the crowd helped Florida a lot. That was another game where I was like, this crowd is fucking electric right now. That was so fun to watch.
The Swamp, baby. I'm going to get down there.
I would also like to go to a game in the Swamp. That looks fun as fuck.
Yep.
But, yeah, so Florida definitely looked a lot better than anyone gave them credit for. Emory Jones just came out of fucking nowhere. And, again, Bama not being bulletproof, I think, opens up a lot of things this year in college football. This feels like, and maybe it's just me, and I've heard this before a few times on like ESPN and all that, but it really does feel like 2007. Deke, I don't know if you were watching college football in 2007. There was a lot of shit that happened in 2007 in college football.
No. Wasn't that...
It was Texas Tech, Baylor, and I forget what the other Big 12 team was, but they had like the Big 12 had 3 very, very, very good teams just in the mix, beating each other kind of all year. And like the top like 5 changed like every week because everyone just kept getting beat. It was
okay. Wait, no. Year. Okay, yeah. Everyone, yeah. Okay. So I remember that. I do not remember. So I just looked it up. It was Matt Flynn's LSU team defeated the Buckeyes, which is Matt Flynn being a college is hysterical. No, there was a time. Yes, I remember because college football. We were talking about it. Just like I think it was my dad, which was weird because my dad likes hockey and hates. But we were talking about like every team that got put it was a jinx. You were the top, you lost, and it was the craziest thing.
Yep. Every team got beat that year. No
Curse of the number 2s. Wow.
Yep, it was crazy.
7 times in the final 9 weeks of the regular season.
It was crazy. But like
Rutgers defeated South Florida. Let's go Rutgers.
Yep. Yeah, USF. That was back when.
Wait, like, was that Pittsburgh, West Virginia?
Yep, 2007. Yep. That's what I'm saying. That year was insane. Dude, there was
that was
so
the Pat
much
McAfee year. He said they were the best team in college football history, and Pittsburgh beat them, and they weren't. Wow.
Yep, that backyard brawl.
Holy
I remember watching that
crap.
game. That's fucking crazy. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if this year's going to live up to that standard, but I think this is the most wide open college football has been in a long time.
Here's the one thing I'll ask you. So, Florida has a pretty good fight against Alabama, correct? Alabama, SEC, very tough every year, but they seem to get beat by some SEC teams here and there.
Oh yeah.
Penn State defeats an SEC team that could contend with Alabama here and there for a week.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama looked flawed. I don't want to do it.
Transitive property. Is that what you're saying?
Penn State has a shot this year.
We'll see.
Because Ohio State's weak. Alabama, flawed. What happens when Superman bleeds? You stop believing in gods.
Yep.
Penn State, Nittany Lions, Creamery, ice cream, ice in their veins, national championship.
That's, wow, props. That was nice. I like that.
I made up a lot of that.
Man, that was awesome. All right. And I think this goes right along with that. Oklahoma, they didn't fool us, but they fooled everyone else, man.
I just hate Oklahoma so much. And we talk about it every week, how much we hate Oklahoma. And I tell it to everyone, and everyone's like, they're so cool, man. I'm like,
I don't know why.
Yeah, what's cool about
so
them?
Cool?
It's a stupid state. It's built like a wagon.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's like shit.
You can try, yeah.
Oklahoma.
You can go ahead and try.
I mean, this is act like this is not Oklahoma.
Looks like more like a penis, but
this is what mine looks like.
Whoa.
It's like 7 of those. Anyways, Oklahoma gets taken down by the Cornhuskers 23-16.
Against a dumpster fire of a program right now.
They won 23. I wish they would lose. Man, I don't get it, man. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't believe Lincoln Riley is a quarterback whisperer. I'm a big fan of Spencer Rattler, but
he doesn't look good. Spencer Rattler has not looked good.
No.
Like
Heisman
not
favorite,
impressive.
my ass.
Yeah, not
But
impressive.
Dre and I get in this fight a lot because he's like, Lincoln Riley is a quarterback. Look at all the quarterbacks that came through. I'm like, they were all good quarterbacks.
Wouldn't in the Big
whisperer
12
make bad quarterback? Yeah, like
that's the thing. If it wasn't in the Big 12, I might buy into that. But they run the Big 12. They won the Big 12 last year.
Yes.
And they still had two Big 12 losses. They're just not real.
Yes.
Like I've said before, the Big 12 is a worse conference than the American right now.
They make more money getting Oklahoma to the Final Four than they do in anything else.
Yeah, like
it's crazy to me.
And the fact that I get it, they won, but they were playing at home, and
it's against Nebraska.
But it's against fucking Nebraska.
Like they're kind of like Indiana, but with slightly more prominent colors.
Oh, it's worse.
Colder.
Because Scott Frost is a joke.
Scott Frost is a no. It's honestly worrisome that Oklahoma continues to have some margin of a top 4 ranking, which is, I guess, justifiable but crazy.
It's crazy. I'll say it. It's crazy for me.
Thank you. Someone had to say it.
Them getting a number 3, 4, 2 ranking, they have not. There's no justification for that. I have not seen anything that proves that.
Fair.
They have not been good.
No.
Like,
best team in Oklahoma? Maybe.
Well, that's the thing. Oklahoma State. No, I think they're better than Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's 3-0 right now.
Give me State.
I mean, I love Mike Gundy, so I'm going to take State all day.
I know you do.
Like,
he's your 1B to Mike Leach's 1A.
Yep, 100%. All right. So let's go down to the AP rankings.
All right, don't hate me. I have to pee.
Okay, we got to wait till Deke fucking pees.
That would be the best way to tell you that I had to pee.
Was it a strong stream?
It was. It was quick. It was very strong. I actually took my pants off. I'm in my boxers now.
Man, that sounds so nice. I might just have to do that.
Hear me out. I was like, all right, like I should put shorts on, but then I was like, someone's kind of waiting for me. Yeah, and that too.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I do feel weird that you're just looking at me with your pants off right now. Just saying. I love you, but not in that way.
A lot of people in the world would think that's a compliment, but okay.
Well, not me. So let's get into the rankings.
Hell yeah.
Obviously, Bama, Georgia. Bama staying number 1, I think, makes sense.
It does. They sneaked by, like you said, but they're still Alabama. They're still undefeated. and they're still, like we both agreed, not looking bad.
Yep, 1,000%.
I like Georgia too. It scares me enough. It scares me enough.
I do. I just think Georgia can't be one, or else they have no shot.
Agreed.
In my opinion, they have to have that edge to them. I think.
If they would have dominated the absolute shit out of Clemson, they might be one.
Yeah. Oregon moving up only because Oklahoma moved down. So, like, I don't think we really learned anything about Oregon. Penn State making the jump.
They play Stony Brook this past week? Was it? Okay.
Yeah. Penn State moving up 4. I was surprised by this. I thought maybe we would move up 2 at the most.
Wow.
I'm happy with it, but I'm also a little nervous about it because now everyone's talking about us. I don't like that.
I know. You're very scared of when people talk about Penn State because that means that it's kind of real.
Yeah, and when it's been real before, it hasn't actually been real.
There's another team that we talked about that being true for on the show. Do you know who it was?
I'm actually looking down.
Oh, you didn't have to look too far. Just 5 spots, baby. Iowa! When they get the hype, they're not real. Guess what? This year, they're real.
We'll see. October 9th, Penn State, Iowa. We'll see.
That's Friendly wager? Friendly wager?
No, I never bet on my own team. I learned that so long ago.
All right, I'll bet on Penn State then.
I won't bet on Iowa because I can't bet against my own team either. No,
What about a tie?
What does that even mean?
We bet on a tie. Loser eats hot wings.
Okay.
All right, deal. We both have to eat hot wings. I like Iowa this year, man. I don't know. Like, I literally, since show 1, I'm just saying Iowa.
The hype's there right now, and that's when they lose it. I'm just saying.
Waving at children.
They don't have the offense. That's my thing. They don't have the offense.
We'll see.
Just saying, they just don't have the offense. Their defense is really fucking good. No.
When my birds or whatever the fuck we're called come to Penn
Hawkeyes.
State. Oh, it is the
Hawkeyes.
I used to get frustrated as a kid because I thought the Steelers were on Saturdays. I was like, that's inconvenient.
Have you've seen the old Iowa Hawkeye jerseys, right? From the 90s?
I don't know.
So
did you guys cover them on the vault?
Oh yeah, we did. Okay. But I'm gonna pull it up.
Which shout out to Benny Buckets who got really upset when I said your former co-host.
Yeah, that does make me sad. I'm not gonna lie. All right, so.
Oh my God! Please tell me it's a suit.
Trying to. The banana peels.
Oh,
look at that.
Hear me out. Isn't that exactly what Oregon's doing nowadays?
Yeah, but
not yellow.
Well, the thing is, this was, I believe, on our So Bad That It's Good.
Amazing.
Yeah, So Bad That It's Good.
Yes. So it's so bad that I want to wear that everywhere now.
Oh, I would buy it in a heartbeat.
Right?
Like, I don't care that it's Iowa because, like, it's a Big Ten team.
It's sick.
But I would wear the shit out of this. This is so bad that it's amazing. And, like...
Yeah, I agree with that. The different colored logo on the helmet and the jersey is, like, design no 101. And the fact that it's the greatest thing ever. And I would wear a midriff. I don't have the body for that. I would rock that.
Oh, yeah. 1,000%. I think I've thrown it out there. I would love to find one of these and snatch it up for the vault. Right. I think that would be great. But all right, let's go back to the rankings. A few other things here. Clemson drops. They only beat fucking Georgia Tech by what, 7 or 14 or something. I don't even remember the score, but there are just a lot of issues with Clemson right now. They might find a way to pull it
14 to 8.
Yeah. Now, there was a weather delay. So I think that played a small part in it, but it's still Georgia Tech.
But, dude, DJ has not looked good. 18 for 25 on 126. Nothing in the air.
I think probably because their offense is just so unimaginative.
100%
It has been for a few years now. What else do we got? BYU jumps up pretty big. Jumped up 7 spots after beating the fucking brakes off Arizona State.
They look good, man. 27-17, I don't think tells a justifiable story to that game.
Yeah, no, I agree. What else we got? Michigan moving up. I'm scared of Michigan right now.
They kind of look legit. Not like natty legit, but upset someone legit.
Now, they haven't played anyone real yet, but I am still scared.
Still look good. That's how you start a season, though. You play a bunch of nobodies and get in there.
Except if you're Penn State, and that's almost kind of what worries me a little bit. We're just starting off so hot, like I feel like that's a tough way to start this season. Like, you're going to get tired. But Michigan State in the top 25, I think is definitely worth noting. They got here quicker than anyone ever expected them to. Like, they were terrible last year. They don't look that bad.
Been bad
right now. Yeah.
No.
Fresno State beating UCLA, I think, kind of shows that Fresno State is not that bad.
I'm so upset for UCLA because we've been riding them pretty hard, pretty heavy, and
but UCLA didn't drop it because Fresno State, I think, is
because
good.
Fresno's legit. Yeah, for sure, man. But it's just one of those things where, like, I kind of really did want to see UCLA.
Yep.
I don't know. I wanted to stir it up.
Yep. A team that I really... So, one other thing before I get to the last team. Auburn not dropping out, I think, speaks a lot about that game because they did not look bad. They didn't look outmatched. I think it was a very evenly matched game.
It was a great... And the team that they lost to is now number 6 in the country.
Yep.
Like, that's a respectable thing.
100%. Kansas State. I'm very intrigued by Kansas State.
Very getting ranked. Love them getting ranked for no reason other than just...
It's different.
Good for them.
Yeah, it's different. And they've had good teams before, but, like, man, I'm kind of happy about that. They're just frisky, and I think that they could really make a run at the Big 12 just because Oklahoma is kind of a fraud.
I would like to see this, how I'll word it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Nevada's a respectable program.
Yeah. No, 100%. All right. What do you got this week, Deke?
I just want to toss out some names here, and this is going to be more of a discussion than anything, but guys that are risers in the skill position. So we've covered a couple defenders. We've done quarterbacks. I've talked a little bit of Heisman favorite when it comes to some of these skill position players. 2 of them, kind of more than the others. But just tossing out some guys that I think come around, that really big hype train fantasy time of the year where we're sitting here talking about Chuba Hubbard as the backup for CMC being the best pick in the draft. Olave screams top of the table right now for me, Smalls. And the big thing about him is he is electric. His team has proving that. And the honest drop between other wide receivers on the board. I mean, Olave and Ross going into the season were 2 of the kingpins when it comes to the wide receiver position. Due to Clemson's, as we mentioned, boring offense, their inability to throw the ball, DJ just not looking good. Justin Ross has slid down boards to the 5th receiver getting taken right now, which I think is crazy. But Olave coming in there with Garrett Wilson as well of Ohio State. I think Ohio State, as much as they produce quarterbacks and defensive ends, they also produce wide receivers, which is something that'll sneak in there. We mentioned him as well. Tank Bigsby coming in big for Auburn against Penn State. Hear me out, man. Katavius, Tank, he is a tank. That's plain and simple. Do I think he'll be the first running back off the board in any situation? Absolutely not. But what he does provide is what I like to call right now, because it's the hype name, the Trey Sermon upside. Mm-hmm. You play really well, you're going to get taken to the 3rd round. 3rd round is where you make the most money in fantasy in terms of who's going there. Kareem Hunt, circa with the Kansas City Chiefs, Alvin Kamara with the Saints. Another name, though, that I do want to bring up is Isaiah Spiller, Texas A&M. I don't know Texas A&M is going to do literally anything this season, but Spiller has legitimate pro upside. He will be that. The way that I'm seeing this right now, Smalls, is he may not get the big names, the big yardage, but it's very much Josh Jacobs, Damian Harris. Damian Harris came into the season as the main guy for Alabama, but Josh Jacobs still being there, and a lot of people liked him going into the pros. I like Spiller at the pro level far more than I do Texas A&M's offense. And the last name is Jalen Watermeyer coming out of Texas A&M as well. Touch on his teammate. Tight ends are a weak class going into this draft. Watermeyer should be considered the top tight end when it's all said and done. Look for a team like the Eagles, who are losing Zach Ertz, and Dallas Goedert hasn't quite proved himself. Someone that, and I think they'll ride the wave. He is not Kyle Pitts, but they will ride the Kyle Pitts wave of tight ends being more than just at the tight end position come this draft.
Love that. Chris Olave is electric, and I hate it.
He's a freak, man. It's one of those things where in college, guys do very well to cement their implant on the next season. Olave is going to be the blue chip wide receiver out of this class. He's not really CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase level, but what he is explosive, and you can coach an entire playbook around explosive.
You can tell that he's the best player on the field.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. But think about Ohio State wide receivers, man. Like, there's been some big names coming out of there, and I think that's cool.
A lot, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, yeah, you got Chris Carter.
Yep.
Santonio
Granted, he was
Holmes.
a little busty bust, but I love me some Paris Campbell. I mean, Scary Terry McLaurin came out. Amazing. Yeah. Scary Terry was a freak last year. I love that he's going in there.
And yeah, you mentioned Tank Bigsby as well.
Yeah, I saw you perk up about it. I knew that you were going to love that. But Tank, man, he doesn't produce. I mean, really, the big name is Breece Hall. Not to get too much into it, but Breece Hall coming out here with 5.63 yards per carry. He's expected to get another 1,500-yard season at Iowa State. I'm a big Iowa guy, so fuck Iowa State. There's a lot of names there, but what Tank provided was enough proof that he's going to get a shot at some form of role at the next level.
Yeah. I was watching that game on Saturday, and I know more than a few people that actually went to Auburn that I'm pretty good friends with. And
no way.
Because I interned down in Atlanta that one summer, so like I knew a few Auburn guys down there, and I went to an Auburn game day. It's fucking awesome. Like it's like
really,
it's Southern Penn State. It's so much fucking fun.
By the way, I never thought. I don't know if I mentioned this. A guy I work with, I think it was early '80s. He was the quarterback at Ole Miss for 4 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
He wears Ole Miss gear everywhere. Him awesome. And I talk college now. Yeah, I just want to. I want to let you know.
Yeah, there you go. No, yeah, but I was texting these guys and I was like, Tank Bigsby is a bad motherfucker. That guy is good. Like he seems like an every down sort of back in my mind. Like
I don't hate it
just because he's hard to fucking tackle. Like
he gives you a little glimpse, and I don't want this to come off as anything more than just glimpse, but of what I expected Bo Scarborough to look like.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is just you're not going to take him down in the first 3 hits.
Yeah.
Like do something else. Because Bo Scarborough, when he came out of high school into Alabama, I was like, this dude is going to be what now Derrick Henry is. Obviously not the same size, but like he's going to be a fucking bruiser. Tank gives flashes of being that guy.
100%. All right. Mike Leach Award time, Deke.
He couldn't get me a shrunken head, so I got a t-shirt.
All right. Yeah. So it's gonna expand to a broader topic, but I just thought it was hilarious. Halftime interview with James Franklin after the refs took away a fucking down from Penn State. And Holly Rowe asked him about it before he went into the locker room. And she was like, what happened on that play? And he literally looked at her, didn't say a word. And she's like, all right, I won't ask you anything else about that. And he says, thank you, and runs into the locker room. And that speaks volumes because the refs on both sides, I'm not even like trying to pretend.
It was bad.
I'm not even like, because I think we got a few calls. They obviously got a few calls. But in general, SEC officials had a fucking horrendous day on Saturday. They were terrible. Did you see the end of the Mississippi State-Memphis game?
No.
So essentially, they called it a dead ball. It was a punt, what should have been a dead ball because the ball stopped. Everyone stopped. Like guy.
Wait,
Fair
was this the guy that picked? No. Okay, so keep going.
Yeah. So Mississippi State receiving a punt. Guy Fair caught it. Ball bounced. He let it go. It bounced. The ball stopped. Play dead. The play should have been dead. Right. Sorry, Memphis was receiving the punt.
Okay.
And Mississippi State players stopped because the ball stopped. Like the ball was down. Right.
Yeah.
Refs didn't blow the whistle. Memphis picks it up, runs it back for a touchdown.
Shut up. What the fuck?
Mississippi State lost the game. Like it was a solid, like I would say 2 seconds. Mississippi State was robbed. And then you have these clowns.
Shut up.
Yeah, then you have these clowns in the Penn State Auburn game that took away a fucking down. Lost track.
Yeah,
of
what the fuck was
easiest
up
thing
with that?
to keep track of in the game of football. It is that is like elementary rules of football. That's what you teach kindergartners and peewee, the rules of football.
Oh, I just watched them. Okay, the Memphis one was exactly what I thought it was when I almost cut you off, but let you finish. The knee down and dude touches it and then gets up and the ball's just laying there.
And they pick it up and run it back and lose the game.
But they called fair catch and he touched it.
Yeah.
I would be filing so many pieces of paper.
Yeah.
Oh my
It was
God, dude.
horrendous. And again, the fact that an SEC crew took a down away from Penn State, along with a slew of other calls on both sides.
The down away thing was the most hysterical thing I've ever seen. I'm going to be honest. I'm sorry to say that out loud. It was hysterical how pathetic that whole thing was.
Yeah, well, and what's crazy is Franklin was arguing the entire time, and their response was the entire crew, 6 guys on the field, the review guys up in the booth, they all concurred that it was 4th down. So they had to punt it.
Bro, I would literally be like, can you watch back the footage of what you're literally putting on the internet right now?
That and, again, there was an intentional grounding. There were 2 intentional grounding calls that I want to bring up in the Penn State game alone. One of them was Bo Nix not being in the tackle box, throwing it away, no intentional grounding call.
Okay.
The other one, it was a blown route. Sean Clifford launches the ball down the field because he was assuming that, I think it was Parker Washington was going long. It was a route mishap, whatever.
Yeah.
They call intentional grounding for a ball that was launched. No pressure on Clifford. It was a blown route, and they called intentional grounding.
I think that means that they just literally hate Penn State.
Well, and then the targeting call, there was a targeting call against Auburn that I remember. I said it on my couch cam thing. I was like, I feel so bad for that kid because that's such a bullshit call. like that.
It's bad when you're saying you agree with the Auburn guy.
Yeah, and dude, I felt so bad for that kid because I guess his crown was technically down.
Yeah,
but it was such a soft
the tough
call,
part.
And that's a rule that I think everyone this year. I fucking hope to God that they change the rule, or at least they have to have intent factored in.
That's
somehow.
the tough thing is that it's they're like, well, if intent leads to human judgment, right? Human judgment is what you did. It has to be implied on here, because if I'm just pushing the quarterback and my helmet hits him or something like that, is different than destroying a wide ball receiver.
100%.
The intent has to be brought in.
If you want to throw a penalty on it, throw a 15-yard penalty on it, whatever you want to do. Don't fucking eject the kid.
Yes.
It's garbage all around. The officiating this weekend was fucking awful, and I will stand by that. It is
Green.
One of the worst. I forget what year in the NFL was, but the replacement refs. Do you remember those guys?
Yeah, with the Seattle Green Bay touchdown safety, that was amazing. That was the most electric time in football history, I think.
Yeah, except it was bad because the refs were fucking horrendous that year, and
imagine if all the people that made iPhones went on strike. We brought in people that don't know how to make iPhones, and everyone bought the iPhone, and you look at it and it's terrible, and you're just like, all right, well, this is just a calculator with no phone or texting or apps.
Yep.
That is literally, it's like, hey, we technically got an iPhone. What the fuck is happening?
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is the only, so Brandon Walker from Barstool, I disagree with a lot of shit that he says.
Love Brandon Walker.
I hate Brandon Walker. He's such a jackass. The one thing recently that he said, though, and this is true.
Well, then you'll be glad that Memphis won that game.
Yeah. Exactly. It sucks for Mississippi State, but that,
fuck
yeah.
Brandon Walker.
Fuck Brandon Walker. But I lost my train of thought now. Fuck Brandon Walker.
Yeah, fuck you. I love you. Fuck you, Brandon Walker. I love you.
No.
Fuck you, Brandon Walker. I love you.
So the one thing he did say though was referees are the only like group of people in football in general that don't have to answer for anything
Ever.
whether
Literally,
you're a player or a
what do they
coach,
have to answer for?
owner, whatever it is. Referee, they can hide behind a statement that either your league or conference puts out on Twitter.
Yep.
Don't have to, and they're just going to be officiating a game next week.
Yep.
It's
That's a
garbage.
tough thing. Is one, I don't believe. Hear me out. This is a call to action. I don't think anybody. I have a friend. Here's how I'll word this. I have a friend. He is a men's league basketball referee, and he is obsessed with it for the power. I have other friends that were soccer referees that hate it because they get chirped all the freaking time by parents.
Yep.
You're not going to bring up quality referees by being shit fans at a U6 soccer game. So I don't think suspending the refs in any way is going to do good because I just don't know if there's refs in the waiting. I just don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if there's a lineup of refs waiting to get in the NFL.
Yeah, but there has to be some sort of accountability. That's the thing. Right
Agreed.
now,
Agreed.
There's none.
But you start making accountability and people don't become refs and all this type of shit because it's like, well, I thought that I was right, beyond God. It's like,
yeah, but when you mess up a down,
that one's bad. They need to be fired. All of them. I'll give you that.
all right.
The down is damning. Like, I know my whole argument. Like, I get it. My whole argument was like, give them a little bit of credibility, but to lose a down of football,
Just to
like,
lose track of it.
To lose it like it's Bigfoot in the Midwest. Like, I don't understand how you just let that shit go.
It's incredible to me. And I think it almost happened. It almost happened twice. I think they kind of caught it the first time. But then it happened again, and it actually happened. And
You're like, pretty sure it's third, Dale. No, it's second, Gary.
Yep.
It's boom.
Oh, my God.
Two guys named Dale and Gary are deciding the outcome of the Penn State game. Dope.
I hate that those are their names that we have to deal with.
I hate it too, but it's what their name. Blame their
saying,
parents. You know what I mean?
Jesus.
Bunch of jagoffs. Yeah.
All right. Gauntlet this week. We're not quite in conference season yet, but we do have a few big games.
It's crazy that Wyoming on their 3-game win streak isn't on this list anymore.
Well, there are a lot of 3-0 teams that I decided not to put on this list. Wyoming actually wasn't on that list that I was thinking about. But all right, so we got Notre Dame, Wisconsin at Soldier Field this week, which I think is awesome. I love neutral sites for games.
Agreed.
I think it's always just really cool. I think this is finally the game that Notre Dame, it catches up to them. I'm going to go Wisconsin here because Wisconsin is solid enough as a team to not – they're going to get up for this game, and they're not going to let their season go down the shitter by losing to Notre Dame. I'm going Wisconsin here. Whoops, that's your head.
I appreciate it, man. I do have an honest, legitimate question that I need you to answer.
Yeah.
This all comes from your hate of Notre Dame, right? In a way.
No, it comes from the transitive property where Notre Dame went to double OT against Florida State, who is now on a 3-game losing streak. And then
talk about that a little bit if you could. That intrigues me.
Yeah, so Notre Dame, we talked about it last week. Dumb math for dumb college football fans. Notre Dame went to double OT against Florida State. Florida State next week loses to Jacksonville State, one of the worst teams
Agreed.
ever to beat an FBS team. And then the next week, Notre Dame struggles against Toledo. And frankly, should have, if they're the number 12 team in the country, should have blown Purdue out of the water, and they have not. Transitive property.
Don't hate that at all.
Jacksonville State almost beats Notre Dame.
I don't hate that at all.
Yep.
I am, though, for the sake of discussion, going with Notre Dame. Hear me out. Why? I believe a leprechaun could beat up a badger.
I wholeheartedly disagree with that. That's a bad take.
What?
That's a bad take.
Do you understand that leprechauns fight for their lives, for their pot of food?
But it's a fucking badger, bro.
Bro, I'll curb stomp a badger.
I could curb stop a fucking leprechaun.
You kind of are a leprechaun.
Hey, hold up.
Oh, wow. Okay. Sorry. I'll let my dad know that I offended you, and HR will deal with it in the morning.
All right. I'm not going to file a complaint against you. I don't feel like dealing with the paperwork.
Me either, to be honest. So I apologize. We'll just say that straight up.
All right. And then we got Texas A&M versus Arkansas. At first, I was leaning A&M.
Ooh, big switch guy.
I'm going Arkansas. Arkansas right now is feeling themselves, and I think this is the first time in a while that they've been good and relevant, and that place is going to be fucking rocking. I think home field advantage takes over in this game, even though I think that Texas A&M brings a lot more talent to the table. I think that Arkansas comes out and beats A&M.
All right. Yeah, I don't hate that. I think there's a lot of justification. I'm going to ride the lower seeds this week, though. Two of the guys that I named out of the four in my list came from A&M. I think A&M does have some firepower, and Spiller has the ability to ignite any offense. So as much as we believe, hashtag Razorback, I'm going to go with Texas A&M.
All right. That's not a bad pick because, like I said, I was leaning that way.
That's why it was interesting because I assumed I know you hate Notre Dame. I thought we'd agree on Texas A&M. So
Rutgers, Michigan. I put this one on here because Rutgers looks frisky, but I think Notre Dame's gonna fucking blow them out of the water. And at home, they're feeling themselves right now, and they're playing in Ann Arbor. I'm going Michigan here.
Don't hate that one bit. I think the interesting part of this is there's one reason I'm going to take Michigan and one reason alone. Smalls is scared of Michigan. So, hey, Rutgers, I think Shiana is real. I think Rutgers is real. Give me Michigan. I think that they will clean one of their first legit opponents.
Yep. Next game, let's move on. I'm going to go with Oklahoma here simply because it's at Oklahoma and WVU is just, I don't want to say they're in a rebuild, but they're just not quite what they used to be. And I know that Oklahoma is a fraud, but I do think that this game is going to be closer. It's going to be closer than people think.
Yeah, I don't hate that one bit. And I think that when you're looking at West Virginia football, we kind of all look at it through beer goggles anymore. We're like, remember what West Virginia used to be?
Yep.
It's just kind of one of those, frustrating things about West Virginia as a whole. I mean, they barely beat Virginia Tech, right?
Yeah, but Virginia Tech was ranked. Virginia Tech was pretty decent.
Fuck it. Give me West Virginia.
Whoa.
I'm doing it. You know what? Here's what I'm saying. We both agree Oklahoma's not legit. We both have concerns about Spencer Rattler. This could be a big upset game that shocks the world. Give me Country Roads.
That's fair. I don't know. I don't remember the last time West Virginia shocked the world.
When they lost to Penn State. Or Pitt. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Maybe it's just because I don't follow WVU that closely. I just don't remember them beating a team that should be a heavy favorite. I just don't remember that. I think Oklahoma it's gonna be close, but I think they're gonna get it done for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Smalls, I'm also going to point out the simple fact that I don't remember there being a better movie series than the Pirates of the Caribbean. But you know what? The Pirates of the Caribbean is the best movie series. So it's one of those things where West Virginia.
There's a lot to unpack there.
I don't know. I started thinking about what I'm gonna do tonight. I was like, I really want to Pirates of the Caribbean. So, West Virginia, Johnny Depp, win.
You think that now it's a solid movie series, but you think it's the best movie series? Is that what you said?
What's that? You're breaking up. What'd you say?
I'm not breaking up. I know I'm not breaking up. Think that you would put Pirates of the Caribbean over Lord of the Rings,
okay,
the Dark Knight trilogy.
Oh, okay.
I'm asking.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I didn't realize I was a part of this. West Virginia will beat Oklahoma. Yeah. Pirates of the Caribbean, best movie series ever. Let's just go with it. I'm already here. I'm on the island.
Yeah, I mean, That's not a bad hill to die on, I guess. They're solid movies.
It's definitely the best pirate movie ever. But
well, that
like,
is true. I don't know of many other ones though. If I'm being honest.
there was Peter Pan.
That is true. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck that gator though, man. I think gave me the creeps.
Do you know the weirdest thing is I have a Timex watch, and it was from a wedding gift from Ping.
Does it sound
but every
like the
time,
clock?
100%, I can hear it ticking, and it bothers me. It really, really bothers me.
Wow, that's tough.
I'll be sleeping in here.
Where's he at?
Right?
All right.
So give me West Virginia.
All right. All right. Don't tell my bookie this week. So Coastal let me down on the over last week. So I'm going back to my roots, but I'm sticking with my boys. UMass is fucking awful. I'm going Coastal to cover at -36 because Coastal is just really good at fucking covering. So I'm going back to my roots here. Kent State versus Maryland. I'm going with the under here just because, first of all, that line is just absurd. 69.5 on this game I think is a little ridiculous because I don't think Maryland is that good to just blow out Kent State like that. And really, like, it's just not the Big 12. I don't know why they have this line. It's absurd. So I'm definitely taking the under on this one. And Maryland only beat Illinois by 3, 20-17. I just don't see it. Kansas State, Oklahoma State. I'm shocked. I know they're both 3-0, and I know it's at Oklahoma State, but I'm shocked that Kansas State is a 6-point dog here. So I'm going Kansas State. I think they're definitely going to cover. Liberty, Syracuse. Dude, I think Liberty is my new team to bet on. Liberty is 10-0 in their last 10 games against the spread. I know they're playing a Power 5 team, but Syracuse just ain't it anymore. I think they're definitely going to cover at 6.5 because Malik Willis is feeling himself right now. He's spinning the ball. He threw 6 tutties this past weekend.
You say like you're not, but you've been a Liberty guy since we started this show. Like you've promoted it through him. You've made me a Liberty guy. So,
yeah.
I think you're cutting yourself short there. I do think Liberty covers. I am interested in this Kansas State game, right? Because they're finally ranked. I think that they, being the dogs, mean that they'll cover in some weird way. The under on Kent State at Maryland. I don't know. There's something about Kent State that makes me feel over, but that is such a high line.
That's what I'm saying. And Maryland's offense, I wouldn't say is exactly high power.
Agreed, 100%.
So, like, I saw that and I was like, oh, lock that in right now. That's ridiculous.
Dude, 70's a crazy number to go for.
Dude, that's a Big 12 game right there.
Yes. That's literally A&M versus Baylor, and we're excited because both teams don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And then you get to UMass Coastal. I think Coastal does cover. I think 36 is a high line, but hear me out. Coastal deserves better opponents. So I think that they run the absolute paint on UMass.
Yeah, UMass is also fucking absurdly bad.
Yep.
Deke, have you seen Jamie Chadwell, Coastal's coach? Have you seen his new haircut?
No.
He's embraced the mullet lifestyle.
All right.
Give that a quick Google.
Let's Coastal Carolina coach.
He has embraced it. He was a clean-cut guy last year.
So his name is Jamie Chadwell. You said right?
Yeah,
okay.
Jamie Chadwell.
Oh, wow. That's a beautiful mullet.
It's gorgeous.
Good for him, man. That is what he's built off. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that is his whole brand.
That's what. Not him, but his team for sure.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That is like his identity as the coach of the brand is the mullets and the mustaches and beautiful stuff.
Yeah. So I'm still on that Coastal bandwagon. I think last year has honestly made me a fan for life, if I'm being honest.
I would be surprised if there's not a hint of you every season that goes, I hope Coastal does well. Now, if they play Penn State, whiteout game.
You know what sucks? Now, I wouldn't root for Coastal. I would definitely always take my boys.
You scared me for a second.
No. But you know what? I would have a tough time rooting against my Shants down there, dude. Like,
Chanta.
It'd be like 5% of me just saying like, "Hey, make sure it's close."
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know. I think that's all we got this week, Deke. Not bad.
I love it. Love this show. Like I said, I think talking about these college players makes me better in every aspect because I can do a lot more on Two Beers Deep too, which I love. But the game's great.
Yep, absolutely. Shout out Coors. Shout out Coors. Coors PGH, baby. I'm still trying to find the seltzer. I want to try that seltzer. I just can't find it anywhere.
Yeah, I want to do. There's a lot of stuff we got to talk about in terms of the partnership, which is all good. Our contact texted me and said that we are doing too much work in a good way. We're tagging too much and producing too much, which is good, which is what we want to do. Giveaway going out to ARF. We're going to be doing a lot more. Definitely giveaway on this show. A lot of stuff, a lot of the stuff that I'm going to view with Greg after the show. I'm excited to see, but a lot of beer giveaways and a lot of merch.
Absolutely. All right, Deke, appreciate it, brother. It's been all-purpose garbage. Let's have a week.
East Nashville!
Let's go, East Nashville! All right.